Hello, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Patrick, and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. We'll begin the show in a few minutes, but first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information. 3 sheets to the mouse may contain language and subject matters that aren't suitable for smaller aviators, so listener discretion is advised. When the intro music begins, please take a seat and partake of any carry-on items. This includes bottles, flasks, cans, fine cigars, and skin mags. Okay, let's review. That is, F-bombs, earmuffs, get drunk, smoke 'em if you got 'em, and send nudes. Anything else? Oh yeah, enjoy the show.
Sounds sorted, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 194 of 3 Sheets to the Mouse. We're the show that fucking podcast show. It's a radio show.
Oh, boy.
That likes to focus on the adult side of Disney.
Start off strong, I see.
Like he's drunk.
That's how I mix them. From the parks to the movies to dining, we'll cover everything they have to offer, including their drinks. I'm Mikey, and tonight I'm joined by 3 hosts that have not been rethemed, rebooted, or replaced. Tim.
I have found it.
Adam.
Technically, we rebooted January because this started season 2, I think, maybe.
It's just a continuation.
Okay.
You know, this is just like you said. It's season 2. This is it's season 2, so this is going to be the shitty season.
Wow.
And then season 3, it really comes back in, though. All right, so sit back, relax, say goodbye to dry January, and hello to flooded February, and let's talk some Disney. Tim, what are you drinking?
I've got probably the last bit of Mad Elf in our area, but it's from a can.
Isn't that what you said you had last time?
Yeah, but this is the bottles.
You're like a furniture store that just keeps, like a mattress store, going out of business every week. The door's closed, it's the last Mad Elf.
Well, it's in cans
It's
now.
in
We
cans
don't have
now.
any more
This is
bottles.
this is probably the last of the bottle. This is the last of the
Can you tell
bottom
a
of the barrels.
difference?
What?
Can you tell a difference between the bottle
Yeah.
and the can? Can you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a canny taste to it, but it does taste a little bit different.
So it's uncanny?
It's not an X-Men. Move on, Maria.
I thought it was
The
funny.
brothers don't even like doing cans, which is I'm surprised they put Mad Elf in the cans.
No, the last tour we took, they talked about how they figured out they can put an insert into it. I remember bits and pieces I drank.
That's some weird science
Bits and pieces everywhere.
for a strange brew. Adam, what are you drinking? Are you also have the
Mm-mm.
last?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I actually have... I'm digging into our minis. So I found a little bottle of Crown Royal. And I had a pair recording, however you say it? Recorder leg. And I dumped that in there. So
Ooh,
it's pretty good.
it does sound good.
No, you the good cider, Maria.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, the
It's-
cider that we don't cringe when it comes in a variety pack. Speaking of which, what do you have, Maria?
I have something from a variety pack.
Ooh, shock face.
I know. Well, actually, the other day I said to Todd, I was like, I need a fucking beer. I don't want to drink a seltzer anymore. Like I can't drink one more seltzer. I want a fucking beer. So I have 2 drinks tonight. I have the Blue Moon Light Sky, which is pretty much Blue Moon if you like digested it and peed it out. Tastes kind of like
Sounds a lot like a seltzer.
It's kind of like a Blue Moon. Doesn't nearly taste like a Blue Moon, but it's low carb, so I'll deal with it. It's a beer. It's better than seltzer. But then I do have a seltzer.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I have the Smirnoff Raspberry Rosé, and every time I
Oof.
say that, I hear Prince in my head singing Raspberry Beret.
Oh, good God.
Every Raspberry Rosé.
No, don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
do
I
it.
knew it was
Oh,
coming. You
yeah.
knew it was coming.
It's unavoidable.
Everybody knew it was coming.
So that's my second drink.
Unavoidable.
So I'm partway through the Light Sky, and it's decent. You know, it's better than some of the seltzers I've
Please
had.
redeem her, Mikey. What are you drinking?
Oh, I can't.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Do you have a seltzer too?
I'm.
Maria, I think we shipped you the wrong shirt. If you can send that package back, we need to ship you another one.
Okay. Oh shit.
No. It's a sparkling water.
Fuck's the difference?
I don't know. I'm going through. I don't know. I was going through some of the stuff that was abandoned. I'm just going to say abandoned when the Goodmans came in and visited, and I'm not a big fan of La Croix sparkling water, but Jennifer left some, and then I've got some seersucker gin mixed in with it there. It's what she drinks when she
Yeah.
wants the lower carb with a gin drink. So it's like a gin and tonic
Have
water
you
for her,
ever
I guess.
watched Jen make a gin drink?
This is all gin with a
Yeah.
splash of that La Croix.
Yeah, she really
I
doesn't
know.
have to worry about the carbs when she makes a drink.
I'm just that's what I've got, and it's weird. La Croix. It is ample.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be. It had to be that one.
What flavor is pamplemousse?
It is naturally essenced,
Oh, from Pamples.
Isn't
Yes.
pamplemousse
and
like
innocent.
grapefruit or pomegranate?
I think it's
something like that?
grapefruit.
I don't know. It does. There's no flavor in here besides bitterness and gin.
Well, it's
Bubbles.
probably from your deviated septum that you
Yeah,
can't
grapefruit.
taste too well.
Yeah, it's just a method of conveyance, and I just wanted something wet, cold, like a dog's nose.
Okay, then.
Okay.
That's what we're drinking. What are you drinking? Let us know. Send us a text message or give us a call on the drunk line at 407-906-4698. We know you're drinking. We know it's February and
Thank God.
time to get that liver kickstarted again. Give it a month off. Show it who the fuck.
There were a few sheeters who made it through dry January. Not
Yeah.
many of us.
liars.
We gave it a
None of-
valiant effort, though.
Okay.
Give it 2 weeks.
That's
But-
not valiant.
I had
It is
extenuating
valiant.
circumstances that caused me to fail.
Yes.
It was valiant. Considering what happened, it was valiant.
Oh, accurate. I take it back.
But
I had to.
I did pretty good.
I had to break dry January because I couldn't let
That's the wonderful
I
things he
couldn't
does.
let Tim drink alone. So
Ah.
that's why
I wasn't the one that got drunk in your kitchen with you, so
that would be
I
your
know it.
husband.
yes.
Yes.
And
I couldn't let Maria drink alone.
bought expensive electronics.
Yeah, I couldn't let Maria drink alone.
Well, thank God. 'Cause then we passed out at the same time.
Yes.
That's you know what? That's absolutely correct. We're basically a support group. That's our motto: 3 Sheets
Correct.
Nation, because no one should drink alone.
Cheers to that.
No one should have to drink alone. That's that.
And
There you go.
Nobody does, because at any given one time in that group, there's somebody drunk.
Somebody's always drinking something. We have people all over the world drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yep. It's nonstop. All right. We ready?
We've been
Yeah.
We're ready 13
We got a
minutes ago.
show to do, guys. We can't just sit here and talk
Another
to each
one?
other. We have listener.
Hey, listener.
We have
a
Listener,
our
listener.
I actually have a listener review tonight, so I know we definitely have at least
Oh, I was gonna say we got a guy over in Muscat or Muscat. I don't know. One's a gun, one's a desert. But he's that's where he is.
We have one in Cameroon.
Not live.
Yeah.
That's a paid listener.
You paid a lot of money that one year.
We bought those likes. It cost $35.
A lot of money in Cameroon.
Let's talk about some stuff that just. Ooh. All right. Over the years, here at Three Sheets to the Mouse, we've had many episodes where we talk about the Disney World that once was, whether that meant reminiscing over beloved attractions or saying good riddance to an eyesore. No park in Disney World went unscathed. But Disney World isn't the only place that has axes that fall. Virtually every park has seen their share of trash swept under the rug or something of sentiment packed away. So tonight, on Three Sheets to the Mouse, we're headed to the East Coast. Nope, that's the West Coast.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're doing well.
Nope, we're going to keep going east. All the way till we come back around to California.
Oh boy.
Nope. Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, how you doing?
It was so much air travel, I got a gas bubble.
That's what. Well, I list so many time zones. You could have drank the whole way around the world. We're going to California Adventure. Is that what it's still called?
Yeah.
Disney's
Yes.
California Adventure.
Not called
Okay.
anything right now. It's closed. So
Oh, technically,
Well,
no, they
it's still
reopened
called something.
the street with the restaurants again.
I thought they closed it again.
No, but they've just reopened like a week or so ago. They reopened that and part of downtown Disney.
Oh, nice. Good. Finally.
Well, then, just buckle up. Let's go back in time. Cue the Huey Lewis music.
Gonna go back in
Back
time.
in time.
That's all anybody remembers from that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a song.
It was. It had one of them rock saxophones in it. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff that's missing from the California Adventure experience that we see today. And we'll discuss and see if we agree with Disney's decisions whether or not to cut and run from some of these attractions, events,
Yeah.
experiences.
I think we just call them
I don't know.
attractions.
They
Thingamabobbers.
They were
They were distractions.
They were a line on the website. That's the best way I think. I don't know. I'm sure that we're going to get some hate mail from people who really, really love some of this stuff, and they're entitled to their wrong opinions. That's the beauty
Of the Beast?
of the internet.
No. Damn.
So I will lead us off, and let's. Good Lord, I've said let's 16 times already.
Let's.
Okay, so originally Disney's California Adventure was much truer to what its namesake was than what we have there now. You know, when it opened, each region of the park was expected to kind of reflect a different region of California, and one such region featured a large walk-through space within what they called Golden State Land, and it was called Bountiful Valley Farm. It showcased California's agriculture and farmland from all across the entire state. It became one of the first areas or attractions in California Adventure to gain a corporate sponsorship. It actually had Caterpillar Inc. that they, make the tractors,
Oh, yeah.
I thought they made ink.
the big yellerins.
Ah.
No, they make webs.
Ah.
They signed on, and that actually kind of helped this attraction to kind of become a larger, but still, it's like a mini tour of farming technology. It opened in 2001. It was called Bountiful Valley Farms, and it was over on the eastern side of the park, adjacent to the Pacific Wharf Walkway, and just past Sunshine Plaza. Today, however, if you try to find it, you will get most of Cars Land and construction for the Avengers campus. So that's kind of where this was. Now, the idea behind Bountiful Valley Farms was that visitors to the farm would leave the busy world of a theme park behind and step onto a quiet California farm. Guests would walk through fields of real orange trees, encounter cows, and when the farm life leaves you tired and thirsty, you could drop by the food stand for some refreshment. Now that's from Disney's press release on it there. I'm going to unpack that a little bit.
Well, why was this sponsored by Caterpillar, of all things?
Because tractors and farms kind of are a thing.
Okay.
They don't just make the bulldozers. They made actual,
I know.
they started making farm equipment.
But I don't see the connection with orange groves per se and cows.
Well, you mean you don't see the connection for California and orange groves and cows?
No, like through Caterpillar and cows. Just not.
I mean, it's farm equipment. You got to pick up the hay bales and take it out to the cattle on the property and run fences. And,
it's just not something I picture when I go to that area of California.
Right. Well, it's that,
Disneyland.
it's not in that.
Fair.
A lot of the farmland. I lived in California a long time ago, so from what I remember, the farmland was more in Central Valley than any other place. North, you had the redwoods, and the coast, of course, was the coast, and you had the mountains and Yosemite on the Utah border, along that area. And Central Valley is really where you had most of the farmlands.
And this was geography with
right.
Maria.
I did win the geography
you know.
when I was in 7th grade, so thank you very much.
That's one to grow on.
That's right.
it's half the damn battle, too.
Go, Joe!
Go, Mo! Well, unlike Maria, I've never been on a California farm, so I don't have much reference for what they were trying to go accomplish here. But in the photographs I've seen of this, that's not what they got. It looked like an agricultural fair, just like a fairground with an ag display. The fields of real orange trees, there was just a small little copse of trees. I say small, maybe like a quarter acre. It was just, and they're fenced off. You couldn't get to them. The cows were statues.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you think they were real cows, Adam?
They did have a farm in the original Disneyland, with live animals.
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
kinda,
They had the, not petting zoo, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so
furry-
it wouldn't surprise. I was
furry
kind of
farm.
hoping it was real cows, but I guess not.
Yep. Nope. 2 statues, 1 bull, 1 heifer. That's all you got.
Okay.
All about, and they were just sitting there in front of a placard, a sign, whatever, that talks about how basically beef and milk is what it's talking about, and how the cattle farming moved to California.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's what the sign said. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But there was also several educational displays scattered throughout the area. For instance, they had, people from Caterpillar there to explain the heavy equipment, and they had lots of, again, mostly just signs that explain or just showed how the tractors help farmers deliver food ultimately to your table. There was one such model of tractor you could actually climb inside and see the controls and all the buttons and dials and knobs and all that stuff. But you really had to get a boost because the fuck was tall. Couldn't just step into it. Maria,
I would have needed several boosts.
Yeah,
Oh
you would
my.
have had to. Yep. If only. Never mind.
Good choice.
Thank you. There was also an area called Irrigation Station, which kind of helps you understand how California is able to get the water out, or farmers in general, not just California, but get the crops watered That was actually a splash pad water play area was modeled after an actual farm irrigation system. And you had this is all part of the educational thing, according to Disney. And there was a store called Santa Rosa Seed and Supply that literally sold seeds so you could start your own farm. Takes a lot of seeds to start a farm.
Yeah, one would
And
think.
more
Yeah.
than plastic cows, too.
Yeah, more than some plastic cows.
You can't
So
buy
of
real
those
cows.
three items,
You can buy seeds, but not real cows.
Damn.
you can buy
Shit.
seeds. It is. But you could also get the water though to irrigate it. You just throw your seeds down there at the splash pad,
Oh.
take a shit
There
on
you
it, see
go.
what happens. Of those three items, only one actually ended up being educational, and the basically you had a tractor showroom, which realistically it was a lot like the after you ride Test Track, I guess the after party that you get to walk through. They probably had salespeople there. I'm guessing. I'm absolutely guessing, but I would expect that to be the case. The horrible thing with Splash Pad because it's literally just pipes.
Well, it's irrigation.
Yeah.
What do you use for irrigation? But
That's what I mean. I know, but it was just just pipes. It's all pipes. And a shop that sells you seeds, probably some gloves, maybe a shovel. I don't know, a trowel. I don't know. This is
I bet they had Mickey on them.
moving on. Maybe they had like a Mickey sunflower that would grow in like 3.
Probably.
I think they really missed the cows where they showed where the cuts of meat come from.
Could have, or a milking simulator.
There you go.
Like Disney's America was going to have. There you go.
Well, boom! Funny you say that, Maria. Eisner originally had the concept
Mhm.
for this entire area when he was kicking around the Disney America.
There you go.
Ta-da.
It all circles
Even
back. No idea ever
there you
dies
go.
at Disney.
Yep. You never get rid of ideas.
And instead of
Even-
milking cows, you get an ejaculating plant. In Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, no, we know where
yeah,
you're
well,
talking
that
about.
guy quit.
Trying to figure out how that works in.
Be careful, it spits.
Like the camel.
So speaking, thinking of the Disney America concept, the mural that is the backdrop for this area evoked a sense of Americana. With the location of the farm in proximity to the theater building for Tough to Be a Bug, Disney artists had to do something to kind of disappear an entire show building. So with the concept of a farm in mind, they painted the entire backside of the theater to look like a nice blue sky, and they made basically a sign for the farm. It showed an idyllic farm nestled in rolling hills. There's a farmhouse, mostly hidden behind a cluster of trees, and a bounty of crops surrounding an old-fashioned red barn. It looked like harvest time, but there was still fresh snow on the tall mountains in the distance. And on the sky, in giant letters, it said, Bountiful Valley Farm. It wasn't just a flat sign, though. The design team incorporated this mural with a shaped and contoured facade that was stacked in the foreground away from the theater, and that gave a sense of depth as you walked around the area. The sign made for an excellent focal point, so you didn't, get lost in this enormous farm. And actually, that's probably the coolest thing that I saw for all of the photographs is how well that sign blended in with the building behind it. How as you walked around, the mountainscape that was painted on it would come up and obscure some of the word "Bountiful Harvest," like it was back. It would just look like it was floating in the sky. It just didn't make much sense on a cloud day, but on a clear day, looked fantastic.
So what you're saying, it was painted go away blue.
Mm-hmm. Go away blue, but with big letters. It looked like they
It
were
was
floating in
blended
the
blue.
sky.
That's what you mean.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think it's the same color blue they used for the skies above the Caribbean Beach Resort. They were,
Okay, that makes a
same
lot
shade,
of sense.
same shade. They just brought it in from Anaheim. Now, in February of 2002, on the park's first birthday, Disney announced plans for Twilight Zone Tower of Terror to come in 2004. And with this new thrill ride, they also said there's going to be a kid-friendly enhancements made to the park. So with Bountiful Valley Farm less than 2 years old, Disney decided to go ahead and put a Bugs Land in there to satisfy two needs. First, it catered to some rides specifically for kids, and it also promoted an IP. So rather than close the farm, instead they just absorbed it into a Bugs Land and cut into its footprint. So it ended up being, kind of made smaller, but it was still there, and it was still called Bountiful Valley Farm in a Bugs Land. Now, moving forward to 2006, Caterpillar pulled their sponsorship. They removed all tractors from the park, and this caused ultimately the farm to become entirely unpopular, especially with kids who really were there either to not milk the cow, but they could climb up on the treads of a tractor and get told to get down 100 times.
You sound like you have experience with this, Mikey, even though you've never been.
Yep. Oh, I mean, I've been around tractors, I guess, and I've got kids. Or they could walk through pipeland and get
sounds like
get moist
something
in pipeland.
That sounds worse. Oh boy.
Ultimately, in 2010, Bountiful Valley Farm was officially closed, and it's the area that it occupied was split up between Bugs Land and Cars Land. But the story kind of moves on. It wasn't closed. Bountiful Valley didn't really close so much as it died a slow and painful death. Being that it was put in a new park full of thrill rides and theater shows, this quiet kind of step back. It never had a chance, and the limited popularity that it did see, with most visitors just walking right past it, it was slowly phased out, and you could see that happen on the mural that was painted on the backside of it's tough to be a bug. Originally, of course, I said it said Bountiful Valley Farm, but soon after construction, walls immediately went up inside Bountiful Valley Farm. And when they came down in October of 2002, the Bountiful Valley Farm district had officially become a Bugs Land, and what was left of the farm, quote unquote, as an attraction, the new branding, the mountains, the farm, the foothills, all of it was gone. And in the place of all of that, we had a cutout of Dim the Blue Dung Beetle from A Bug's Life flying above the mountains and pulling a banner that said, "Welcome to a Bugs Land." And that's what you ended up having. And then after that, that stayed until 2012, when the whole thing was basically revamped and made to just blend in completely with the back end of the building. They started showing shit in the building, like sneak peeks for films and stuff like that, once they kicked out Tough to Be a Bug. And then the whole thing got knocked down in 2018 to make room for Avengers Campus and all that stuff. Now,
you know what's funny though? It did say it stayed It's Tough to Be a Bug theater though when all this was going on. So
yeah,
even when they weren't showing It's Tough to Be a Bug, you would still go to the theater of It's Tough to Be a Bug on the guide map to see all your coming attractions.
Right? Yeah, the 4D teasers and stuff like that. Yeah. It costs too much money to rebrand it, man. We got to print a new sign
on
new
it.
pamphlets. I just put a little A-frame stand out front that announces what it really is.
Little sandwich board.
Exactly. Just get a chalk artist. Now, my big takeaway from this is it kind of reminded me of Living with the Land, I guess, a little bit, because they do go into how things are grown and the farming and things and irrigation and stuff like that. It's just everything that you love about Living with the Land, get rid of it and put it out in the sun. And I guess you got this.
I mean,
but they did have a stage show.
I wonder if this was a leftover from the Westcott idea.
I think it was. I did see that term thrown around several times in the articles that I was checking out on this.
I mean, if
Almost like they started with this and kind of built around it, but it didn't fit anywhere with the rest of what they were doing.
I mean, unless they signed this contract with Caterpillar and they had no choice but to put this in.
They could have.
For like originally this was supposed to be Westcott, and maybe they were supposed to sponsor living with the land in Westcott, and they already signed all the paperwork, and Westcott obviously didn't happen, so we ended up with plastic cows.
Yes. Bountiful harvest. No, bountiful valley. That's what it is.
Sorry.
But there was also a stage show. I can't let this go because I found such a small amount of information on this. It was called Mickey's Garden, which I can only assume was an homage to the same named animated short from 1935. The show had Mickey and Chip and Dale, and they just did antics on a stage, while Mickey was trying to take care of a garden and stuff like that. I mean, it was funny. They had voiceovers going over the speakers and stuff. There's a cast member dressed in oversized and horribly patched overalls. I mean, like a clown's costume almost, basically, is what it looked like instead of a farmer's. But the cast member would interact with the kids in the audience and bring them up on stage to help out with stuff like that. Only found like 2 videos. There's not even a fucking Disney Wiki entry for this thing. Like it was there, and then it was gone. And there for a time they had knowledgeable. Nope, they had knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. It's they swell up sometimes.
Okay.
When your sinuses are acting up and you get the sniffles.
Gotcha.
They had knowledgeable and farm savvy cast members that'd be on hand to answer questions and give kind of an educational talk or info while you were exploring this farmland. I guess is what it is. It's farmland in Disney. That would be similar to what they got with the Wilderness Explorers in Animal Kingdom. But no stickers.
At
I
least
don't know.
get stickers.
This just felt like a miss from the word go.
I think most of
I
what.
think this was a good idea.
No. What?
If they actually...
Idea, yes.
But poor execution.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
like the idea
just-
of this.
quite honestly,
It could have been fun if it needed a bigger footprint because really this whole thing was such a small area. Like, small.
It was too small for all the ideas that they try to throw into it, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean,
if
when
you
they
got a
bring in, like-
Caterpillar ride where your little kid can kind of just ride on a fake little thing where just the front lever just went up and down and you were doing a little dump truck thing going up and down, that your kid would love that.
We got that later on. It's called Vader's Junkyard Jamboree.
yeah. I mean,
Not
those
really.
It's a joke.
that ride, like you can ride that ride at almost every single amusement park or carnival ever.
Yeah, but it's not sponsored by Caterpillar.
Correct. But it's still one of those out of the box.
But you could have
but I
maybe
think-
drive through the orange
Yes.
grove and
I think that they
like,
could have- again,
there are things.
But as with many things that we're going to find with this park, as we talk about it tonight, it wasn't done well. Like, not
No.
hardly any of it
No.
as opening attractions. It just didn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
I
lot
mean,
of
I
budget
did
cuts,
some
probably.
research, and there are a lot of reasons why this park was
It's bad.
done the way as bad as it was.
A lot of the stuff I saw from, all the photos I looked at, this was just like everything. It was just an exhibit. Like there wasn't any hands-on kind of stuff. It was here's a display and a sign that tells you what you're looking at, and moving on. You just keep walking. So it's like you just keep walking until you find the snack booth because it has no line because there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And then you get pissed off and you throw an orange at somebody.
But I mean, at least you could have brought the orange bird there. There were things they could have done.
Right.
that they just didn't.
It's too bad. It could have been done so well if they
Yes.
would have just taken their time and not had to do budget cuts and not, like if everything would have fallen in line correctly. It
I just
probably
don't
was
think the
supposed to be
space
pretty
was there
cool.
for this.
Well, and to your point, Adam, like it opened, and then like within a year, they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna make it smaller
Mm-hmm.
and put in some kid rides that literally were your out of the box copy paste, traveling
Right.
super mall parking lot carnival rides,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that was the Bugs Land. Horrible name, by the way.
Well, it's based off of Bug's Life, the movie. So
I get it, but I just
it wasn't a badly themed area, though.
the bug stuff seemed fine. It just the way they tried to blend it all together. Like
It's
some
messy.
of the plants became just fake.
Well, I mean, also that you also have to remember California went through a bunch of droughts too, so I think
Right.
they
Yeah.
kind of had to.
Instead of corn, it was candy corn planted with Heinrich
That
doing
well,
his thing.
Was he a butterfly at that point? Was it
R.I.P.
just Heinrich?
R.I.P.
Just- all right.
The guy who played him died.
Oh,
Oh,
well, you learn something new every day.
don't know.
Sorry,
I don't even know who the hell
Way to
played
bring
him.
that
I don't
down.
remember his name. Yay! Party crasher.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the. Okay, then you know what we need? We need the entertainment.
Oh,
Entertainment.
I got some entertainment
Entertainment?
for you.
That's right. You are the
I
spice
am-
of life,
I am
Mrs.
the
Variety.
entertainment. Yeah.
She is the Spice Girl.
Yo, God, it's something.
Tell me what you want. What you
Well,
really
I'll tell you, so I'm going to talk about 2 dance parties that were held in DCA.
You're going to talk about sex?
There was definitely no sex going on at these parties.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I can tell you that this was like if like midlife crisis people, if people who were having a midlife crisis went to a rave, it would probably be close to this.
You obviously don't watch.
Okay, no.
I'm not
Okay,
going to.
thanks. So I'm going to talk about Glow Fest.
Sorry.
You all right?
Fine, that just the whole conversation between you two just broke me a little
I think
bit.
a lot of times Mikey gets really disappointed that I don't know any of the references that he brings up.
You haven't been with him long enough.
I know.
He gets disappointed in all of us.
I've never met her.
Yeah,
Well,
to be fair.
yeah. Debatable. So Glowfest and Electronica are the 2 dance parties I'm going to talk about. So Glowfest was first, so we'll do that first. So it premiered in DCA on June 11th, 2010. So this was later on in DCA's tenure. It opened in, what did you say, Tim? 2001, right? Yeah. So, so after almost a decade of them being like, we fucked up, guys. They thought they could fix it with the dance party, I guess. So, it was created, originally, Glowfest was created because World of Color was beginning in 2010 or around that time. And it was something for people to do before they went to World of Color. So, if your park is that bad, where you need to create something for people to go to so that they stay for the end of the night show, that's not saying much. But this was actually, like, this party wasn't developed by Disney. It was given out to a company called Create Incorporated, which is a California-based creative firm right near Disneyland and DCA. So it was a local business that they kind of like doled it out to. It was in the Hollywood Pictures backlot area of the park, and every night, or every day rather, you would see these colorful banners and columns that were erected around the standing architecture. So when this dance party started, that whole area of Hollywood Pictures backlot completely changed, but it wasn't a permanent change. It was all like very temporary banners that were strewn across the buildings. It was a very interesting, and none of the banners or the column wraps went with the architecture of that area. So it was really, really odd looking. Like I was looking up videos, like somebody had a video on YouTube from the first night that the dance party existed, and it looks like it's a hard ticket event where they never take down. Do you know those like banners that they post, or like the big plastic like banners that they post?
Yeah.
It's like that forever. Like they never take it down.
Okay.
It's really weird looking. But they wanted to evoke this idea of like an outdoor dance club, like an outdoor nightclub. So they had this huge like walkthrough in front of at like the street entrance to the Hollywood Pictures backlot area. And it looked like that area of Hollywood Studios when you walk into Animator's Courtyard and you walk through that like
that weird arch thing,
that
right?
arch there. It's like that, but it's way more narrow. At least it looks way more narrow from the pictures. Like it looks fucking tiny. So I don't know how they're getting people in and out of this area. But the arch that you walked through, or the portal, they called it a portal, is way small. So the activities began before the sunset. Like it was normal, everyday routine until like, mid-afternoon, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And then when the sun starts to set, that's when the Glow Fest activities start. So they had, like stuff that you've never seen anywhere else, like face painting and merch that lights up. Like you've never seen that before in any Disney park. Totally brand new here. I'm being sarcastic, Adam. You see it everywhere. You can literally get your face painted on almost every street corner during the summer.
But not with blacklight face
I guess
paint.
not, right? And the light up the light up merch was not good. It wasn't good. It looked like it was the stuff that you could get from Dollar Tree. It was the glow necklaces, the bracelets, the headbands, the eyeglasses.
They still sell those.
I know, but
all throughout Disney.
I know, but it was so, you can't think of anything else. They did have plastic light swords, which just looks like a cheap lightsaber. That's basically what it was. Don't spend your money on it.
Did not have like the little cones the guy on the runway waves when he's landing
it was like a
airplanes,
solid
bringing
piece
them
of
in
plastic.
or whatever.
It was like, you couldn't
When
put them
did
up
this
and down.
start, though?
2010.
Okay.
I wonder if it's the
This
same
is
ones
way-
that we
it is
bought from
even-
Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. This is way past, when rave culture was a thing then.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
really.
So as the sun starts to set, dancers begin to perform, and they draw you to the backside of the land.
Water?
Yeah, to the backside of water. Mm-hmm. Where they have a Sunshine Plaza stage, which is a temporary stage, but it stayed there all the time. And on the stage is this huge sun emblem, but it looks like kind of copperish. Like it didn't look like bright neon colors like the rest of everything was. It looked kind of like almost kind of dull and muted. It was very weird to see. So the stage show, they would have dancers and they'd have different acts come on. The main act was a Bollywood step dance troupe, because that
Okay.
makes sense. I don't And again, they weren't Disney employees. They were a Bollywood dance troupe from the area that were contracted to do this. It was weird.
No, 2010, wasn't that when the whole step dance thing, kind of like you had the
That's-
movies?
Yeah.
But I've never seen a
Probably
Bollywood
why.
step dance group. That's a little
Well,
bit.
and
gotta
I looked it up
imagine
on
it's
several different
good.
websites to make sure that I was getting it right. Yes, Bollywood step dance. I don't pretend to understand. And then when the sun went down, they moved the dancing from the Sunshine Plaza stage to literally the middle of the street. So they had
There's a lot of movement.
It was very strange. It was weird. So they'd have almost like floats that they would move out into the street, and you would have dancers on top of the platform here, and then you'd have a really tall tower and a dancer on top of that platform, and then you had a DJ stage that was on top of a psychedelic van, and that was parked in the middle of the street as well. And then they would have projections appear all over the street. And at the end of the street where there was a painted sky wall, they would put just a consistent barrage of neon colors and images, and just it would constantly change. And then so guests were encouraged to dance in the streets or watch the performers. Disney also
or drop tabs.
Yep, that would be also not a good idea. Don't do that.
Tim's
No,
Tim's
I'm
not.
sensing
Oh,
a pattern.
no, I mean, no.
There's a pattern with early DCA.
Yeah, it's like an acid trip. It's like a
Yes.
bad acid trip. But Disney also allowed food trucks to come in from the area.
I like that idea.
But that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Adam's
But-
in now.
You said food truck.
Well,
You said food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't see, and I didn't stop to do research on that area of the park, how it originally was, and if there were food places. I mean, you can't have a spot with no food. You can't have a land with no food. So I'm assuming they had food somewhere, but they allowed food trucks to come in. And then they also had a pop-up bar and it was a large pop-up bar. You had 7-8 bartenders working at this one big, almost a U, a square U shape pop-up bar.
Square U.
Square, it's like 3 lines. It's an open square. It's a U shape, but it's not
U?
curved.
What a U shape.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
But you look confused. I thought
I-
I'd explain. And
Maybe she hasn't.
well, the thing that is kind of strange is that Glowfest and World of Color opened at around the same time, and one of the reporters who came to review World of Color, out of 10, gave World of Color an 8.5 and gave Glowfest a 9.
That's what acid
I know,
does
right?
to you.
And they said that it was actually a
California
really
magic
popular event with guests. And
Because it's different.
oh,
Yeah, well, I mean, you have
it
to
is,
you have
but
to
not
rewind.
everything that's different is good.
What? Yeah, but we're going back 11 years.
Because it was so different then.
11 years? Think about what's been going on just this past year.
Well, accurate.
And I mean, but now go back literally 11 years. It was I get, you would never think of Disney to do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, they've done dance parties, but this was not anything.
Not to this
No.
level.
It was,
This was almost like a festival kind
yeah,
of thing.
they legit changed the facade of their buildings with, I mean, of course, not permanently. They were these add-ons. Just very, very weird. If you look at pictures of that street before the event starts, you're walking down it, you're like, what the fuck? What? I'm in some kind of acid trip right now, and I don't know what the hell is happening, because it's definitely doesn't go anything with the area's architecture at all. It's so obvious. painfully so, that they added this stuff on top of it. But it was so popular with guests, it only lasted for 3 months and ended September 6th, 2010. So that was it for Glowfest. Because
But then it changed.
what they replaced it with is a dance party called Electronica. And Tron is in caps.
Not gonna lie, I wanted to go to this.
Electronica. Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh.
and I wanted to go to one that replaced this too.
The Mad Tea Party? I
Yeah.
think that's what
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looked pretty cool.
the
I
Mad
looked that
Tea
up.
Party I think
That
is
looked
what
pretty cool.
was still there as of last March when they closed down. And when they reopen, I'm sure that will be there as well. So Electronica, it premiered October 8th. So you had
No,
What?
honey, Mad Tea Party called it March 2016.
No, I thought it came back.
Yeah.
The website that I saw
No.
said it came back.
It came back for the 60th and then closed.
Oh,
down.
okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, then you won't get to see it. Sorry about your luck there.
No. Because it wasn't there when we went. That's the only reason why I knew.
Okay.
Their parties were closed by the time.
Oh, I
we got
gotcha.
there.
Okay. So yeah, I think if I was going to pick one of the two, I would probably have picked Electronica as well. Although there's some interesting. It's interesting. So October 8th, 2010. Very similar to Glowfest in that it had like music and dancing, but there were some other add-ins, I guess you could say. So it was in anticipation of the movie Tron Legacy, which Disney thought was going to be a huge hit for them. So they were.
I loved it.
I didn't see it.
So
I
fuck
didn't-
off.
I really liked it. I really
I did.
enjoyed
I
the
thought
movie.
it was really good.
So the extra piece that I would have wanted to see is that they had a recreation of Flynn's Arcade,
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
it was equipped with 1980s video games. So
Yep.
Donkey
Mhm.
Kong, Frogger, Mario Brothers, Pac-Man. So anyway, I would have loved to be in this arcade during one of these parties, and I didn't find any information that told me if this was open all day or if it was just once the sun started to set at a certain time in the evening they would open it up.
Same thing.
They were also playing a Tron Legacy preview in the Muppet Vision Theater, which was on the street at this point in time as well. And to staff this event, Disney went out and cast very specific types of dancers. They wanted hip hop dancers who also had experience in martial arts. And you would understand when you watched the stage show because the stage show was performed by a group called Lasermen, and they performed tricks with lasers and lights, and it was set to music, and they did some martial arts on the stage, but they also had hip-hop dance routines, and it was
a kung fu
basically they were kung fu fighting. And the MC of the show looked like an early David Bowie cosplay if it was all in white.
Well,
It-
you have to know the movie for
Yeah.
that to make
it
sense.
was so
Oh, okay, that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
it
in
was
the bar.
so
Yes,
bad.
because it was themed after the actual party was themed after that bar in the
Okay.
movie.
It
so
was-
that, there was a
Got
lot.
it.
oh.
There's a little things that if you didn't see the movie, just does not make sense at all. If you
Were the
I
girls
was
there?
watching the
What?
stage show this
I
afternoon.
don't know.
Said, were the girls there that all eerily looked the same?
They were all dressed in black pleather. I don't know.
They were there. Blonde
It was
wigs.
like as I was
Yeah,
watching
it would have been like platinum wigs.
when I was
Yeah,
watching
I'm
it
in.
this afternoon, I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" It
You
made
have
have
to
food
watch
trucks?
the movie for this to make
no
sense.
sense. It made
Yeah.
no sense to me, and I haven't watched the movie.
Maybe watch the first one.
No, I haven't watched.
Yes.
I haven't watched
Well,
the first
well,
one.
No, you
Oh, I
need to
need
watch
to watch
the first one just so you can appreciate.
No, because
It was
this still wouldn't
groundbreaking.
make sense though if you watch the first one.
Well, no. I mean, don't just watch the second one. Watch the first one, then watch
All
the
right.
second one.
I'll let you know when that happens.
I'm not holding
Yeah,
my
me
breath.
Don't you die.
Mm-hmm.
They of course had music, but it was electronic dance music, which was basically Daft Punk's entire everything.
She says they had music,
It was
but
it was
it was
electronic
electronic dance music, which means it's
No,
not really
it's-
music.
Yeah.
That's what she
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't know. I really like Daft Punk.
So do I.
Oh, I'm sorry. They still had the food trucks. They still had the
Yes.
big U-shaped bar, pop-up bar.
The square.
bar?
It's a square U-shaped
Yeah,
bar.
the square
Yep.
U shape.
They called it
Square
the
U.
End of the Line Club.
Where I went to college.
I'm not quite sure.
End of line, not end of the line.
No,
end
it
of line.
said-
End of line.
It said End of the
no,
Line.
it's end of line.
Okay,
It's end of
well
line.
then there was a typo.
I don't care what it
All right.
said, Maria.
Okay.
It's end of line.
Um,
End of line, man.
There you go. So this event was only supposed to last until April of 2011, but it got extended through Labor Day 2011, and then they extended it again until April 15th, 2012. Yeah.
And all I'm gonna say is that, just so you know, in the new DuckTales, Dewey Duck is DJ Daft Duck.
Yes.
I mean, I love the new DuckTales, so
The new
There-
DuckTales
there you
is
go.
awesome.
but yeah, those are the two dance parties that got the axe, and then there was the Mad Tea Party, and then there was something else in between, and I forget what it was called, and then the Mad Tea Party came back, and then I guess nothing. Cause
The Mad Tea Party looked really cool. I know. I would go to the parties just to check them out.
I mean,
I mean, I
Yeah.
hate people, but I enjoy
they
music.
were very, very crowded.
Okay, then I won't
I
go.
probably
It
would
was
go.
very crowded.
I'd be bored, or I'd go for like 5 minutes. And yeah, I can't do this, and I had to
Mhm.
leave.
How close yet far away can I be and hear the music, but not see the people or touch the people and
Be one
mean-
with the people.
yeah, no. Fascinating story,
Oh, thanks.
Maria. Cool
Mhm.
story.
Cool
Who
story,
doesn't
bro.
watch
Okay.
the movies or know who Daft Punk?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know
Right?
who they are. Come on.
But is gonna talk
I'm not.
shit.
Yes, 100% talk shit.
I did not.
Didn't they win awards like an American Music Award and all this other shit too?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
I wore
they're a
helmets on
pretty
my head
renowned
and
musical
had music
duo.
that sounds like an electronic keyboard, I could probably win awards too.
Doesn't sound like an
No,
electronic
it really
saying.
keyboard.
doesn't. They're more funky and stuff.
Okay, well,
like
I could-
that.
a
A lot of the
funky
music has
electric
a
keyboard.
very strong
It's- you know
funk
what?
influence.
To quote Adam, it's got a beat and I can dance to it.
Enough. True story.
Okay, now, who? I feel like it's almost a toss-up as far as which one of the two of you are gonna.
Ooh.
God bless it.
Oh, let Tim go last. It's
Yeah,
such a
you
shit
have
show.
to save Eureka for.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
The trash heap is spoken. Adam, you're up.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Wow. All right. Okay.
That's a Fraggle Rock reference. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Mikey.
No, like she was the wizened sage of the entire.
Oh, so you're calling Maria
TV
the
show.
trash heap?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I heard.
Damn.
All right, Adam, get it together.
Well, I have an attraction that lasted for less than a year.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to go into the backstory and then we'll figure out. Let's see if you can guess what I'm talking about here. Or should I just say it and get it out of the
No,
way?
no, no. Make them guess.
I don't even remember what I talked about.
All
at
right.
this point.
So, this originally was themed for a high-speed dark ride and family-friendly roller coaster kind of like combo situation. So, originally at the start of this attraction, you would arrive at LAX and you are a big new celebrity. And you're actually greeted by a video clip of Michael Eisner himself, explaining to you that you have not yet signed your big contract with Disney, and he promises that he'll be waiting for you at Garmin's Chinese Theater with the contract after you escape the paparazzi. At the end of this attraction, which you would zip through different areas of California and see the sights, I guess, he would appear again to politely explain that the writers have been caught by the paparazzi, and your contract was null and void.
Just like Eisner.
Oh.
Typical Eisner.
And, of course, what would happen next, as any good Disney ride does, you're dumped into a gift shop where tabloid newspapers featuring their photographs, which were taken during this attraction, would be available for purchase. Can you guess why we didn't get this attraction?
Yeah. This seems like a self-serving, I'm gonna put my face out there, Eisner moment.
Even
He
worse.
was on my TV every Sunday evening with the Disney
I know.
home movie.
Even worse than that, something really bad happened on August 31st, 1997. Princess Diana
Yeah.
was chased.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so the reason why we did not get this kind of roller coaster thing was literally almost 3 years before while this attraction was in development, Princess Diana's death, because she was chased by paparazzi, kind of yanked this one off the table. So there were a few other ideas that were being thrown around at the time. One of them was clone ideas, so pull something that we already created and move it to California Adventure. I really like one of these ideas. We get one of these ideas, and the other one can go away because it's dated anyway. So the plan was either the Great Movie Ride, which would have been awesome, but I don't think...
Seems kind of awkward, though, because you do have the Chinese
Yeah.
theater over there.
Well, wait.
Okay. Sit, Ubu,
Yeah.
sit.
Tower of Terror, which did end up going in. And you remember, this was before the park opened in the late 90s that they were planning for this, or Rock and Roller Coaster. Unfortunately, during park opening, we didn't get any of these. On February 8th, 2001, closing in January 2002, the first official attraction to close in this particular park, Superstar Limo, located in the Hollywood Pictures backlot area. So, this hot mess of an attraction included celebrities, which were sort of like caricatures, and they kind of had moving arms and legs, but not animatronics. Like, these were like not even B-level
Like cardboard
animatronics.
cutouts?
Almost, yeah.
Oh,
Or like just like
fuck.
mannequins type.
Almost, yep. Some of them
Oh.
were mannequin looking, some of them were cardboard cutouts. Not one of them was an audio animatronic. So, like, Disney got so far away from what they normally do. So,
Didn't they kind of look like the puppets from the Genesis video Land of Confusion?
almost, yeah, kind of. It's
I
Yeah,
hate
I mean,
that
that's like-
video. That
when you
video
say
gives me
caricatures,
nightmares.
when you really think about it.
It's fucking creepy.
So, the attraction is about 3 minutes long. You start out in sort of like this cartoon, like the facade was this cartoonish kind of pictures of Disney, of what California is Disneyfied. I mean, you had the shortest railway in the world. Right before that, got into an accident, and a whole bunch of people got hurt. So, yeah, this was doomed from the beginning. So, you arrive in LAX airport, into like a baggage claim area. Excuse me. You have some really, really bad insider jokes here, such as, don't leave your producer holding the bag. Don't know why that's funny. You have a really, really...
Maria does.
Laughing at him.
I didn't know why it was funny. I'm like, it's so inside that it just doesn't even make sense. A really scary Joan Rivers newscaster kind of thing going on, and it sounds really like her, like telling you that you've just like the biggest star has just arrived and all this other stuff. You walk into the area of ground transportation, and you get in your limo, where we have the next corny joke of keep your hands, legs, and egos inside the vehicles at all times.
Good thing they didn't have a roof on them.
It's just
Right, Maria?
bad. So, in this vehicle, you have like this little camera, like little video screen off to one of the sides, and a stereotypical Hollywood agent named Swiftly LaRue.
Seriously?
And he
So he's
pops out
French.
sporadically throughout the ride, reminding that you can't be late to your movie premiere. So the first spot you drive into is Rodeo Drive, and there's this bauble room looking thing, and you have this weird looking cutout of Regis Philbin that pops out and waves to you. You have these weird looking Melanie Griffith, which I had to look up a few times to figure out if that was really supposed to be her, and Antonio Banderas.
Oh, God.
You have Cindy Crawford, which has to be one of the worst ones, and I mean, this is
I
saying
don't
a
know. Have you
lot.
seen her lately?
No, this is really bad. And she's hanging out of a door called Dollars and Cents, but cents is spelled like the smell scent. And she's
Oh, it's a
kind of
perfume
looking
store.
like she missed the part for Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman as a prostitute.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. Next scene is the Sunset Strip, and in the Laughter Shocks building, you have something that's supposed to look like Tim Allen that really doesn't, but it kind of looks like he's playing pocket pool.
So these were all ABC
Like,
star.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
everything they used, yes, everything was based off of ABC, people that they already kind of had no choice.
Okay.
They had these
Okay.
people, so they can
Yeah,
use
they
them.
didn't have to pay
Right.
them
Okay,
to
that's
let
what I
them
thought.
use their likeness.
Exactly. We have a weird thing with Jackie Chan that just kind of pops in, and I don't understand the connection at all. Next stop is Bel Air, where you have Drew Carey selling maps to the stars.
Oh.
That's a little odd.
Yeah. Next up is Malibu. And I think this is the part that punched me in the stomach the most, because they kind of did a riff on part of the Haunted Mansion. And the lines go, agents, execs, producers beyond, give us a sign, the green light is on.
Stop.
Wow.
Yeah. And then off on the side, you have a scary Cher.
Yeah, I've seen that. That is no good. It's like a scary Howard Stern even.
It's awful. You go into this next thing, and there's a tattoo, and it says it makes no sense. Next up, you go into Superstar Studios, and this is like a really bad, trippy movie set. Again, we have the acid influence heavily in this one show scene right here. After you get out of the movie set, you have Whoopi Goldberg, which, again, announcing that your movie is great and yada yada yada. I couldn't even make out what the hell she was supposed to be saying. At the end, your face or your car shows up on like a big billboard screen. The ride ends with the talent agent declaring that the writers that their movie was a success and they are the superstar. And then, even getting off this ride, it kind of didn't stop because there's these really the signs are awful. There's one sign that actually says limos with stretch marks pull forward.
Oh.
Watching this, it was like, I can't believe that they even bothered to put this out. The best quote that I found regarding a review was from Brady McDonald, and summed up the attraction as a prime example of expensive theme park design. And now, building pretty much stayed shut down for 4 years. There were a lot of rumors bubbling up that it was supposed to be rethemed with Disney characters at one point. There was also a rumor that Muppets were going to be actually going into the attraction,
Would have saved it.
Would have been way better.
actively renovating and bashing it, and then retheming it to Miss Piggy's Superstar Limo.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's just January 23rd, 2006 is when we finally get an attraction put in here. It's Monsters, Inc. and Sully to the rescue. It uses the exact same track layout, and the taxi cabs replace the limos. And you can actually see, if you look and you compare some of the movements of some of the Monster Inc. characters to some of the movements from Superstar Limo, what they use the exact same things over again.
Worst attraction ever?
Yeah. This was 3 minutes of your life that you were not getting back. And it's just...
3 minutes is like stupid short for a ride. Well, I would say 3 minutes is adequate for like, it's a little long if we're talking like teacups, we're talking
God, can you imagine
Dumbo
spinning for 3
rides,
minutes?
or the carousel. Okay, so I'm saying 3 minutes seems like too long for a ride like that, but it doesn't seem quite long enough for a ride where you stood in a queue, and also that
you think
someone
this had a
in
queue?
Disney. Well, I mean, someone had this entire idea as an Imagineer, and there was money spent on this.
Well, you have to realize, this was when the whole thing went down with Diana. They had a whole different attraction planned. When the whole thing went down with Diana, that was in 1997, so they literally had a little under 3 years to get this really up, running, and going. And instead of scratching it, which would probably have been better, they just threw something up in its place. And it was also a lot of Michael Eisner who actually made sure they removed all his video out before the attraction actually launched.
I guess when I think of a dark ride, a 3 minute dark ride seems like a waste.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Like, there's longer dark rides than this.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's only 3 minutes. It just seems like, why? Granted, 3 minutes and 2 seconds of this would have been about 2 minutes and 2 seconds too long.
Yes. And I mean,
But
like, what's the Avatar boat ride, though? That's super short, too.
5. It's 5. It's
No,
5.
there's no way that's
oh yeah,
5
no,
minutes.
that's way longer
Yeah,
than
it's
3
5
minutes.
minutes long. Yeah.
It's 5.
But this was a mess.
I have seen videos of this, and it is regarded historically as the worst ride that Disney World has ever put
Well, and that's
into
what I'm
a
saying.
park.
Like, can you think of
Period.
one that would be worse? I don't think you can. Like, it's bad.
It's not even like it was a trackless ride. Like, it is basically
Well, the
the same
technology
track.
wasn't
Right, yeah,
there for a
technology was
trackless
definitely trackless.
ride.
I get it, but it's the ride is, it's Tomorrowland Speedway.
I'd
No,
rather.
The track is.
Oh, the
yeah,
track.
you have one track, and the wheels bounce it around. As you,
But at least
As you-
Tomorrowland Speedway, you're kind of like, as a kid, you're getting the experience of driving a car.
I'm not saying this is better. I'm comparing. That's the track is just that one ribbon that runs in the middle of it, and your vehicle
Oh,
kind of.
I think
If
that
anything,
if it
it's
came
round
down
on
it
to
would be
it,
more along the line.
if we had to pick between riding Superstar Limo or smelling gasoline fumes, we'd all take gasoline
I'm getting
fumes.
high off
Yeah,
the
I'm getting
fumes.
high off gasoline
Hell
fumes.
yes.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm with
then-
you, because I'm gonna pass somebody one day. I want to ride that fucking past somebody.
And then we're
In
gonna go
front of
ride on the teacups.
Then I will be
Nope.
throwing up everywhere.
I'm gonna
Because Tim-
stagger my
Tim loves
ass
this-
to
this,
fucking
that
Carousel
ride.
Progress.
Sure.
Tim loves that
But
spin ride
I
because it's different.
I watched an actual video of this where I guess it was some sort of promo, and the whole staff or the whole cast of the Drew Carey show went
Ooh.
with what's her name? Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh.
And
And she wanted to know why Whoopi was up there instead of her.
no, she was like falling asleep. She was pretending she was falling asleep during the attraction.
Pretend.
No, I mean it's only 3 minutes. It usually takes
Sure.
a little bit longer, but it was just.
Unless you got the apnea.
But looking at their faces while they're going through this attraction was more entertaining than the actual attraction. And you can tell
You
they were
think
trying
Regis
so
Philbin
hard.
actually shows up and hides like, fucking Johnny Depp
No,
does for
because
pirating?
Probably
He
too
pops out
embarrassed.
once in a while.
Because they don't look anything like human.
I know. I mean, it's Regis.
He's dead.
Well, now.
I
don't
don't
know.
think anybody associated with this attraction would want anything anywhere near to do with it. It was
It's
really awful.
It just, there's nothing.
There's nothing redeemable about it. There's
I
really
was
isn't.
literally about to say nothing redeemable, but I was trying to be polite.
No, but I mean the facade. I mean they actually. The only thing they did for the facade between changing it to Monsters Inc. to this was paint it with the door theme. I mean the overlay. If you look at the overlay, it's the attraction itself is cute. The Monsters Inc. attraction is cute. I remember writing it, but I mean, again, it's short and it's a throwaway.
Yeah.
This,
So what we need is Superstar Limo, the ride, the movie, the musical, the series on Disney Plus.
no,
Coming in
Nobody needs that.
2023.
nobody needs that. Nobody wants
I was
that.
just gonna say.
I mean, it would almost work as just like a comedy spoof with just nothing but stupid cameos, like the Muppet movie.
That's no. It's just no.
Fine.
No, there's,
I'll have my people call my people.
and they will talk to themselves all night long.
Yes. While they're waiting in line for soup. Adam, this attraction is a hot mess. I'm so glad that you decided to run us through it. But it wasn't the hottest mess
No, it was not.
at Disney's
I am so
California Adventure. Oh, God. Tim, Maria's already moist. Let's do this.
This is like an
Oh,
acid
wow.
trip extraordinaire. if anything can describe it. So it's Disney's Eureka, a California parade.
If only this was going on the same time as one of these glow show electronica things, so you could just drop acid
Spend the
for like
whole
4
day
hours.
tripping.
Oh, man. Talk me down, man.
What are
Talk
you
me
doing? We're
down.
gonna
The
go to
fucking mouse
California
is
Adventure
talking.
and trip balls, man. No. What makes it even weirder is the Eureka comes from an ancient Greek word meaning "I have found it." It's been on the state seal since 1849 and has been a state motto since 1963. However, for the sake of this parade, Eureka is a California goddess.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
So
Why not?
the whole parade itself is a hodgepodge of everything Californian. Each float depicts a different cultural iteration of the goddess Eureka.
Did they
Hey.
get Cher to play her?
No. No. So there's one song group that's played throughout the whole parade called Come Away With Me, and each unit or float plays a different variation of the song. So the opening unit is the actual main song, and it centers around the sun. Everything in this float is the sun. The dancers are in yellow and red unitards with bicycle helmets and long ribbons depicting sun rays. So after that float, you move on to the Hispanic California, which the song is sung in both English and Spanish, and you have Aztec-inspired bird headdress essence of Hispanic culture, and all the dancers are in these weird bird costumes. You have these larger-than-life Dia de los Muertos puppets. It's really odd.
Oh,
So the
I'm
next
looking
float-
at them right
They're
now.
big.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
They're
I,
big.
I,
They're
I,
fucking
I
huge.
promise, because I wanted to hear Tim explain it before I looked at it, so I am going into this totally
Yeah.
blind. And I'm like, oh, I
It
like
gets
Dios
weirder
de los
from there, though.
Muertos.
Because the next float is the Los Angeles float, and the song is done as a rap.
Shut up.
Oh God,
Oh.
yes, I remember this. Yeah, no,
Probably the coolest part, probably the coolest float that I've seen that I watched a couple of videos of it. It's the Watts Towers float, and they actually have a drummer hanging from the tower, playing
Yes.
the drums like sideways.
There's a lot of percussion
Yes,
in this
there is.
parade, actually, from one piece to the next. It's like a lot of live
Yeah.
percussion.
And they had the performers for that float. They're walking around with like these cowls that are shaped like the Hollywood Bowl, and they have little tiny conductor puppets in front of them. Yeah,
Conductor
It's
puppets?
weird. It's so fucking weird.
I was watching this. I was like,
It's so weird.
I had went to take a bath, and I'm like watching this. I'm like, am I dreaming? I just got off of work, and I'm like dozing off. Like, is this a nightmare or is this a?
Tim, let me describe it. It's like if you were assigned a school
Yes, and you had
project.
to build a diorama.
Okay, and it came to life and grew legs. That's what this would be, man. That's what this like. If you built a diorama in a shoebox
And wrapped it around your head.
and it
Oh my god.
So next up is the
a little bitty
Outdoor
man.
California float, and that's an instrumental beach rock cover of the song. You have a sun worshipping beach beauty of Eureka, and there's a stuntman inside like this weird hoop thing, and he's just doing flips and
half pipe.
running around the thing like a gerber, like a hamster in a gerbil wheel.
Oh, see, I saw a different version
Oh,
of
did you?
it where he was in rollerblades on like a half pipe.
Oh.
Oh. The one I saw was
And
the
he had,
one I
like,
watched was the opening day cast member preview show.
Well, that's the one I saw.
It was a full
How does
circle,
it-
and he was just running around
Oh,
the whole
okay.
thing.
Well, he's on crack.
So was everybody else.
Sounds like this whole
Yeah.
fucking thing was on crack.
And there's a performer, another performer is sitting on top of a surfboard that like kind of just moved back and forth, like simulating surfing in the California coast. And the dancers for this float literally wore full-on wetsuits, snorkels, and flippers. And they're dancing in these freaking flippers. And it is the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. Because you hear the flippers smacking on the pavement, and that's all you hear. You can't even hear the music. They're just, the flippers just smack, 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 smack.
It's like a disco
This
duck,
looks like
man.
the first
Yeah.
iteration of Nemo the musical. Like
Yeah.
It does.
it really does.
Yeah.
A lot of it, or like a lot. Yeah,
Like the
you're right,
dentist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the fishes coming by across. Yeah, it's
So things get even weirder. Because now we move on to
God.
Chinatown.
Oh my god.
No.
And it's an instrumental Chinese cover.
No.
Yeah. So
Yep.
now you have the Chinese opera goddess of Chinatown. And this float is kind of cool because they have a big Chinese drum, and the dude is actually, pounding on the drum. Like Mikey said, there's a lot of percussion in this. But then there's this weird guy that's driving the float, and he's got the typical
Is this the guy in the red
snow
jumpsuit?
jumpsuit with the
Poor
stereotypical
dude.
Chinese hat you
He
would have
couldn't-
seen
he
back
couldn't
in.
get out of the
yeah.
float.
And he's not Chinese.
What?
No, he's not Chinese.
And the performers, the dancers for this one, there's one dressed as a Chinese food container
No.
Oh,
with
yeah.
bamboo legs and a shrimp hat.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's not lying.
And a fortune cookie.
Oh my god.
There's a fortune cookie.
Oh god, the fortune
dancer.
cookie dancer fucking
It's
cracked
a
me up. I was
fortune
stitches.
cookie. dancer.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God bless their soul. Why did they think this was a good idea?
But the other weird thing is all these floats are being pulled by bicycles. Like
Because it's
Rickshaws.
California.
the LA floats are being pulled by lowrider style bicycles.
Yeah, no, that
That's
was actually
pretty
pretty cool. It was this bitchin' lowrider tricycles with chains coming up for the handlebars and
The-
stuff. And the dude straight up had a plaid long
Yep.
sleeve shirt buttoned all the way to the top button, man.
Oh no!
He was plateauing it up.
Oh no!
The beach,
I'm
the
looking at
beach
the pictures.
float one was pulled by what do you call those? The tandem bikes like they have at Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Story
a story bike.
Yeah, and then this one was pulled
Now,
by a
the
rickshaw,
beach
like a
one
rickshaw type bike.
Didn't the beach one also have dudes on rollerblades and bicycles doing stunts
I didn't see that part.
on the float?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Yeah, they had guys on BMX bicycles doing stunts off, but the float had a ramp, and they would ride up the float and ramp off of it back onto
I didn't
the
see that one.
onto the concrete in front of it. I was thinking, well, I thought that just seems unsafe
Probably.
because they were in rollerblades too, and if you don't land that, you get run over by the guy in the
Yeah.
bicycle.
No.
Well, I've seen a couple different iterations of this parade. Like the original float with the guys in the unitard. Some performances showed people in just t-shirts and shorts, and they just had a picture of a sun on their t-shirt. So
Oh my
I
god.
guess it was different.
Why were they wearing helmets? The
Yeah.
dudes in the unitards, the front of the float parade, were all wearing
Yes, they were
bicycle
wearing
helmets
bicycle helmets.
while they danced. The
No,
girls
just the
weren't,
guys.
but only the guys were wearing like yellow bicycle
Yeah.
helmets. I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't.
I. There's a lot wrong
It-
here.
Well, no, there's
It's
more
an
wrong.
artistic
Looking at
There's
the
choice.
more
pictures
wrong.
now.
Because the final
haven't
float
even
was the
gotten to
Garden
my
State
best
finale.
part.
No, I know. And Mikey's best part too. The Garden State finale was a combination of the opening, the Hispanic, and the Los Angeles units, and they had a walking Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
This is so ridiculous looking.
There were two performers tied together in this Golden Gate Bridge costume. It was the weirdest thing
Are
ever.
they on stilts?
Yes!
No,
Yes.
those guys weren't.
No. Yeah, they're
Were
on
they?
Yes,
stilts.
they're on
It
stilts.
didn't look like they were on stilts.
Yes. They're on stilts, and they have to walk. So weird. It's like they got their shoes at Kmart and didn't cut the little
Yes.
plastic thing in between them. They're making teeny tiny steps the whole way. But they're doing it to music. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, like
One,
the,
two,
the,
left.
the best way you can explain this, you seem like the horse costume
Yeah.
when one's the tail and
Yep.
one's the head.
But
This
you're
is
really
That's the first thing I thought of
apart.
when I saw it.
But on
Yes.
stilts, and if either one of them fucks it up, they go down. It's no good to the Golden Gate Bridge fall over during
This
a parade.
was
Ever.
the
Have you seen
best idea
No,
that they had.
it was horrible.
No, I
will say though,
looking at the pictures, the Mexican area looks interesting.
that was
Yeah.
interesting. Yes.
No, like not like, but like it looks like an actual like celebration. The rest of this stuff is just fucking weird.
And the very end of it,
When the Chinese unit rolls through, the dancers in the front of it kind of have a geisha thing going on, and all I could think of is, oh shit, Lo Pan's gonna show up and fuck this up.
Bitch, it's
'Cause
okay.
it
You have
looked
lunch
like
coming
Big Trouble in
behind
Little
it.
China. That's true.
you have food trucks, you got
And when
food
you're
people.
Port Maine, it's a few steps away in the Chinese spot. No, this is not good.
Yeah, I can see why this only lasted a year. It wasn't even around for a full year because it took an off-season hiatus. Came back in the summer,
And
and then Disney was like, once it was canceled, it took another 2 years before they even brought a daytime parade back because they had to rethink their decisions, I guess, at that point.
I think the last one before the Golden Gate Bridge showed up, they had those dudes dancing on the reverse springy
Oh, yeah, those were
foot
cool.
things. Yeah,
Kangaroo type
uh,
Yeah.
The final weird thing about this parade was they had these performers carrying these giant flags that had portraits of like Californian people on, just random Californian people.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, like regular, not even like famous California people, just like regular California people.
You're not
Just
going to
like-
talk
like
about
Bob?
the Wonder Woman float?
Oh,
What?
Eureka at the end where she looks like Wonder Woman
Oh,
flying
yeah,
out?
well, that was the Eureka. Eureka comes to you. That was the final float.
Yeah.
That was. She's reaching
and
out.
she looks like what? And she's
Yeah.
like she looks like a Wonder Woman pose. This is a
It's a
fucking
train
shit
wreck.
I
show.
love how the
So-
ocean one that they have with all the surfboards and stuff. They have a girl on a jet ski on the front of the float, just like hanging out on a jet ski
Maybe she's
With the-
driving it.
with the lifeboat or
Fuck,
life jacket
what
on.
is this? What am I looking at? I don't even understand what I'm looking at.
So, Tim, you mentioned all these different iterations of the goddess
Eureka.
Eureka. Is any of this explained during the parade, or are you just like, okay, that's a big bitch. Okay, that's another big one. Okay, there's
nothing
another,
is explained at all. And the song, I mean,
you just to assume that we have performers, and then there's a big woman,
What about
and then
the poor guy
performers.
who had to wear the fucking Hollywood Bowl on his fucking body?
yeah, we talked about that.
This poor man.
With the little tiny conductor in the front. That's so weird. And he's like, it's like a puppet because he's moving the little conductor.
It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like he's having to deal with being on stilts with an obstructed view and work a puppet all at the same time. And then the people with the big skeleton marionettes, the Dia de los Muertos, like those skeletons aren't secured super well, so when like they move and turn, like the bones are just flinging this way and that. I'm thinking
that's very classical kind of puppetry for those kind of puppets.
yeah, but if you get too close to the crowd, someone's getting kicked.
Right,
They
but
look like they're riding a spaceship
if you
of Earth.
see those puppets in Mexico, they kind of move herky-jerky that way. So I
Fair
get,
enough.
like I said, the most accurate thing to me is the Spanish section of it, I guess.
Because they had the big
Because-
Mesoamerican masks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part to me makes sense, but anything else I'm looking at, I don't understand.
If you want to go and check this out, go to YouTube and look for the cast member preview version, because it is without a doubt the most interesting one you're going to come by. Yeah, the YouTube channel is called Carter Sauce, and it's fun. The commentary is interesting because it's obviously being recorded by a cast member because they know everybody out there and they're calling them out by name. But what's really fun, a lot of these dancers and performers actually they don't like include the people watching them, but they play up the part a little bit. You know, there's some winking going on, there's some hey and an extra shimmy happening, especially when the rap part comes through, because they're getting after
I
it.
thought you were talking about the odd
And the pictures
fake
that I'm
Chinese
looking at,
accent guy.
yeah, not good.
The Ni
Yeah.
Hao guy
Nope.
there that pops out with the hat, and he raises
Yeah.
it up and down when he gets back in his little
So weird.
Mushu cart or whatever the hell he's pushing. Yeah, I don't. Listen, okay.
Okay,
I will be the first one to say it's a parade.
But
no, this is
you may
bad.
this is bad. It was so bad that Disneyland did not bring back a parade to DCA until 2005.
I mean, the pictures that I'm looking at are on yesterland.com
Yeah.
under Disney's
Yeah.
Eureka, and oh my god,
A
bless
lot
their
of
hearts. I don't
the
even know what to say.
I like that a lot of the floats use live percussion though, because
Yeah.
that's actually really cool, because you've got the float comes by with the music playing, but the percussion is done live, and it has to be because they're not playing around. They're banging the big ass
What is
drums,
the
or they're
other
hitting
parade
cymbals.
Does that though?
Do what?
There's another parade in California that uses live percussion. It's one of Mickey's parade,
Or the-
and I can't.
the
I
music-
I was
remember.
gonna
Mickey
say
Music
it's the
Parade.
Rose Bowl parade, but yeah.
So I mean, they do bring this idea back with the live percussion, which is really cool because you have Mickey Mouse playing the drums at one point, which is
Yeah.
kick-ass in my opinion. But this parade's a fucking
Yes,
train wreck.
it's so disjointed and
It's almost like you can see what they were shooting
Right.
for, because it's like Maria
No.
said.
No.
They said, hey, we're going to go with California for this theme park in California, and we're going to go all the way
I do
in.
not
And they did.
If I watched this, I didn't know who's the chick. Would have been my whole who's that?
No,
this
no,
figurehead.
no. What I'm saying is they created a whole fucking
Yeah.
deity for the state.
yeah.
I get it, but if you're watching this parade and not
Eureka, the
knowing the
patron saint of
backstory, there's no
California.
way in fucking hell you're gonna figure that out.
But-
Oh no, you're
As
entirely
with
right.
everything tonight, it seems to be a good idea, but poor execution.
No, mine was a really bad
Yeah.
idea. From the start, mine was just a fucking fucked out. Don't do this ever again. Bad idea.
Yeah. Adams was just Nope City.
Yeah, mine
from,
was just like, oh,
from the
we have to
get-go.
fill this building with something. Here it is.
No, we don't.
This was a no. But, like I like looking at the parade. I wouldn't know what Eureka is. I have no idea. She
It
looks
looks like a
different
Mardi Gras.
and
float.
different enough, and Yes, but she looks different enough in each one for me to not figure
It's
out
the
that
same
that's supposed
person.
to be
Yeah.
the same kind of person.
I didn't
too.
know. I watched it and had no
Neither did I.
idea.
Until I looked
I
it
was
up
just
after
going
we
along
watched
with it.
I was like, okay, I had no idea that that's what this theme was.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Mm-mm.
Why is she a Chinese opera goddess?
I have no idea. It's not explained anywhere.
For the China influence in California.
For opera.
Yep.
I love how the Chinese, like the most stereotypical. I mean, you put somebody in a Chinese carryout box for fuck's sake.
With a shrimp
It is
hat.
The
really,
shrimp hat. Oh my god,
really
that
bad.
poor
Bamboo
man.
legs.
The wonton though was, I mean,
The
that
fortune
fortune
cookie.
I
Oh my
just
God.
giggled.
No, the
That's
best
right,
is
fortune
still.
cookie.
The
I mean,
fortune
oh,
cookie
Oh
is
a
God,
just
fortune
not
cookie
how
is
many
right.
just
people
a
in the Golden
wonton
Gate Bridge
with sugar.
stilts dressed as Chinese men, Chinamen. It's
It's just
so
not
bad.
good. No, I don't think they're Chinamen.
Are
I
you-
think the hats are actually supposed to represent some of the
you
lights on the
sure?
bridge. Don't
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go with that.
just let me say that in my
Okay.
own mind to
All
make me
right.
feel a little bit okay
Oh
with
God,
this.
this is terrible.
Yeah.
My God,
I mean, there's just so much.
that's
I
This is like, listen, you all wanted Disney America. Well, this is
Oh,
what you would have
fuck.
got from it.
mm,
You wouldn't have been happy.
no, this was
You'd
just.
have had a weird
Well,
parade.
I mean, before I mentioned that there was a lot of problems with this park, and I didn't really go into too much detail, but this is also right after they invested a lot of money in Euro Disney, and Euro Disney fell the fuck apart when it first opened. So they were not making any money. They took a lot of money. Disney at that point took a lot of money back from the parks division to make this. And this is that. Wow. Wow. And I thought my attraction was bad. This parade just doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Nope.
I remember going back to when I was younger. I was an adult though, so it's cool. But you'd watch these TV shows. You know, the kids would watch TV shows, and people would get gifted travel trips and stuff to Disneyland, California Adventure, and they'd always show the big Bear Mountain thing back there. And it always seemed like a really cool place to go because it had just opened. But now that we've done this episode, I realize
Well, I mean, I think it still had its. There were still some parts of it. We're picking the worst of the
Yes.
worst. There's reasons why these things don't exist
Correct.
anymore. There
yeah,
were,
because Maria picked them out.
but there were some. I mean, you still had the roller coaster, California Screaming,
Right.
which was a lot of fun. You still had Mickey's Fun Wheel of Death.
Oh God.
I mean, there
Yeah,
was other
that's
stuff
just a-
to do there. We're just the park kind of had no soul. It had no identity, and now it's slowly
I
trying to
can
figure
relate.
itself out.
And I think it has.
Well, then it got Cars
I
Land.
think it definitely has figured itself out for the most part.
I mean, you think about Soarin'. The original Soarin' came
Yeah.
from this park. So there were good ideas here. Just there was a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
I think they said, "Hey, let's make it different."
Oh, it was
And they
different.
did.
I think they ran out of money. I think they got budget cuts, like you said earlier. I just don't think that a lot of the things were flushed all the way through. I think this parade was almost a good idea, but there had to be more announcements. They had to kind of figure out, like, okay, so who is this Eureka, and like how does she fit in? And there was no connection there. But if you would explain it during the show or during the parade, then it might have made sense. But they never took the time to do that. Because the DCA parade that we saw was fun. The daytime parade. The Pixar Play
Yeah, I
Parade.
was
yeah.
looking at pictures of that too. That at least made sense.
It was a lot of... And it was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It was really a cool parade, so...
I mean, it is what it is.
It's something.
That's the reason why it's
I mean,
gone.
it is what it isn't.
Yep.
I don't think any of these are really missed. Well, maybe Superstar Level.
For the 3 months it was open, or 2 months it was open.
Not even. It was open for a full 11 months. 11 months.
There's a lot of people on message boards that missed the farm thing, and that's it. I mean, you wandered around. I don't know. I can see that it was charming, but it just didn't start with any staying power. It was Westcott, right, Adam?
No, I think that it was meant for Westcott, and they just for some reason, had to put it in. I don't know what the reason is, though.
Well, you can't win them all, Disney, but we appreciate you for trying.
There you go.
And we appreciate you listening as we wrap this show up tonight. Maria, we got some shit going down in the group right now.
We
and
sure
it is,
do.
we're blowing the doors off this fucker.
It's just getting real.
Right. Shit is getting real.
Fucking Miss Joan jumped in.
True story.
Yeah, yesterday. So we have our K9s for Valentine's not so silent auction going on right now.
It's like screaming out.
It's not
auction.
silent. Yeah. So we are on the time, at the time that we were recording, it was day 2. By the time this drops, we'll have another week under our belt. So I'm sure there will be lots of money that we are raising for K9s for Warriors, which is the charity that we are going to be giving our proceeds to. We have a lot of really awesome sheeters who have donated their crafting skills and their Etsy type items and their handiwork to each day's different bidding on items. And so far, I mean, like I said, right now we're only at day 2, but it is just completely blown me away. Excuse me. By the just charity that people have when it comes to generosity. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I was looking for. The generosity that people have.
What class do you teach?
Fuck you.
English.
Okay.
Listen, I haven't been in school since last Friday. It is now Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
And I won't see students tomorrow because it's a virtual day. And I'm gone Thursday and Friday. So it'll be a full week until I see my students again.
You literally almost said givability. I think you would have accepted that as a word.
No, that word did not enter my mind.
It sounded like it was going to.
Right?
Did it?
But she was thinking, that doesn't sound right. It's too many syllables.
That don't sound right there.
Hey, fuck
That
off.
makes me sound stupid.
I'm smart. I know words.
Smart.
I am smart.
So, if you are part of the Facebook group, jump in on our K9s for Valentine's. Even if it's just a couple bucks, everything helps. And like I said, we have some really awesome things that we are putting up for auction over the next 25 days. So I'm super excited for that. And if you're not part of the Facebook group, why the fuck not? You should be. So come and join us. It's a fun time. We do cool shit. And we also have 3 sheets to the finish line and 3 sheets gaming. Lots of stuff for you to come and be a part of. So that's it. Hey, I'm going to Disney in less than 48 hours. I'm fucking excited. I'm out. That's it. Shut up. Both of
You ain't
listen.
getting one from me.
Yeah, he's not even clapping.
Nope. My shit got canceled, so you ain't getting shit from me.
Sorry.
And news is dropping right now about cruises, so I'm at the point where I'm strongly considering, could we just refund our cruise money and take the kids to Disney World, or we actually just let it sit and just know that we have a cruise completely paid for? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Adam, what do you got?
April is coming up really, really quick. People have been asking about shirts. They are on the way, from what I understand. So just keep an eye on the Facebook page. They will eventually be launched when they're finished being designed. We actually got a review that I have to read, so give me 1 second. I have to open up my-
It's not up yet. It takes a while for it to post.
Well, it's not up yet, but she told me what she typed, so.
Okay.
She typed pretty much the exact same message that she posted on Facebook, and I said I would read it whenever we got one, right? If I can unlock
Yep.
this computer.
This is basically like getting a glimpse into the future, folks. This is
Crazy.
this is weird,
this
man.
This is next level shit. So,
Right?
Amy S. Fun fact, the podcast is probably the best thing I found to get me through getting a dental crown. That and a little prescribed Valium. Thanks, host. She goes back and edits a little bit and says the podcast is the best medicine when you generally had a rough day. I throw an episode on and just laugh and think about our favorite place, drinks, and Ohana. So if you're having a rough day, put it aside and enjoy the show. Plus Maria's and Adam's laughs are worth it alone.
I don't know what she's talking about. My laugh is totally normal.
Sure it is.
You know what I heard is that it takes her some fucking Valium to get through an episode.
Yeah.
That's
what
what I
I'm
got
hearing
from
is
that
that
review.
we're
Yeah.
okay if you're getting a crown.
That's fine.
I would imagine I imagine this is some fucking next level shit when you're on some fucking some gas. You know,
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
you know,
getting that-
Disney was
yeah.
on some acid when they did this park, so.
right?
there
Maybe
you
this
go.
whole podcast is basically Eureka, the podcast, and we don't know it because we're cast members.
Well, there's the title for the show, Eureka the Podcast.
Eureka, the podcast. Tim, take us
Well,
home, man.
January was a shit month for reasons, so I'm glad it's over. We're rolling into February, and February on the finish line, we're rolling into the second month of our ring challenge. And shit's getting real because there's some friendly competition and some shit talking going on.
Is it
Some
really
guys
that
want in?
friendly?
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like we
Yeah.
get yelled. Some people yell at you when you don't close your rings. It's like you want motivation. This is the group to join.
If you've got an Apple Watch and you want in,
Yeah. Well, Pagano hasn't ran in 2 days, so fuck that guy.
hey, listen, you don't have to run. You just put on other and do some.
You do
I
some
know,
heavy
that's-
today
snow
they put on other
shoveling
and,
and it
and
works.
shovels.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
he shoveled his driveway 4 times in the last 18 hours, so I can
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can't help from Arkansas at all. I can appreciate
Hey,
it
you have-
one bit.
You have no idea.
I've raked leaves once.
Well, there you go. That counts. It's
Mm.
cardio, it counts. And to get your heart rate up, but it's a good time. We have 4 teams right now. You guys want in? You got an Apple Watch? Come and join the fun. Get a team together and listen to the smack talk.
Or join in the smack talk.
Join in it.
Yeah, don't even get a watch. Just jump in there and talk some shit. That's what it's about. That's the internet for you.
You Android people, you can just sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, you garment sons of bitches like
You're
looking
fucked.
down on us from your tower on high. Snop. Yeah. You can't check your email. All right. Well, hey, good show. DCA then is probably best being DCA then. At least for some of these early events, attractions, and shows and what have you. Still haven't been. Maybe one day. Not soon.
I haven't either.
I was going to say maybe one day soon, but yeah, maybe not so much. So, my goodness. Well, guys, thank y'all for hanging out and listening to us, and thank you, Tim, Adam, and Maria, for talking to me because otherwise, I'm just a lonely person. But before we end tonight, I want to say just a heartfelt thank you to everybody in the Facebook group and everyone that keeps coming back and joining the Facebook group and commenting and giving us some good, solid content. That's what we want. That's what solid, moist
Mm-mm.
content.
Oh.
Maria's
Oh,
face
God.
right now.
So I'll end like I typically end. I'll say, this is not goodbye. This is see you real soon. And remember, in Three Sheets Nation, no one drinks alone. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.